Absolutely huge news today, guys. The next 2 weeks of banners have been revealed by Moonton in Watcher of Realms, and this is really important. We know what's coming now. There's a ton we can infer about the anniversary based on these banners, and it's just a lot of information leading into July, which is going to be a huge month, and we can feel really empowered with knowledge, really fully informed with this stuff. So in this video, I want to share that information with you, break it all down, give some very brief thoughts on this, but don't worry, later on in the week and then next week when these banners respectively are all coming closer to their actual live time in the game, I'll do Should You Summons, I'll do some deep dives on a lot of these characters, but there's a lot of fun stuff coming.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
So what do we know? Let's get right into it. I wrote it all out right here. Also, guys, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please do that. Thank you. You can see this week, the week of June 16th. It's currently June 16th, all the way up through the end of the week. We have only one big key hero rate-up banner, and that is for Valky and Lynx. You can actually see it live right now in your calendar. It's going to be a special divine summoning and a special invocation of spirits. This will incorporate both kinds of your summoning currency. So if you're interested in either of these guys, really just Valky, definitely consider going for it. We'll talk more about it in a second, but I want to tell you about the rest of the banners. The remaining banners were revealed as part of the Falsia event, the Crawling Dark event. It is returning for a third time. And I got to say, let's discuss this quickly. They didn't rerun the Sun Wukong event. The game's really generous, so I'm not going to complain about that, but I know it was frustrating for many players because it was just less rewards than you'd expect. It was only the first or second time ever they ran a limited hero event and banner without the actual event and redeem shop and challenges around it. So it felt very incomplete. It didn't actually feel like an event. But Falsia is getting her third rate up ever, and it's the third time they're doing a full rerun of the event, which is Crawling Dark. They did it right around Halloween 2023. Then they did it in April or May. I think it was actually April of 2024, and they're doing it again now, June 2025. Really trying to lean in. This is a lot cooler than you think because Falsia actually got a really big buff. I've mentioned it in a bunch of videos. I never fully covered it just because we didn't know when she was coming back, so I couldn't prioritize that. Obviously, I'm going to put out some major Falsia content over the next week or so. But you can see this will be a limited banner. She's guaranteed at 200. It's a 20x rate up, and she's paired with the epic hero Livian. So you can see that will happen on Thursday, next Thursday. So at the time of filming this, 10 days from now, this will be June 26th. But then as part of the whole Crawling Dark event and weekend and festivities, they're telling us all the banners for that weekend. So not just Falsia. We know the normal banner and the ancient banner that are also coming alongside with her. And thus we have a complete picture of the next 2 weeks. And really, if you think about it, the next 20 days or so, maybe 18 to 20 days in Watcher of Realms, because we're like 3 weekends away from unknown banners. And that's a lot of information, right? That's really powerful because that should line up with the start of the proper anniversary festivities. This has kind of all been the anniversary buildup, but certainly none of this is part of the anniversary specifically. It's part of anniversary season, but it just means we're, actually going to get that mid-July thing we expected that Moonton told us about. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But you can see the day after Falsia's banner goes live, pretty important thing. On June 27th, a week from this coming Friday, we're getting the nice 20x rate up for Beelzebub and Beatatrix. It's just a 20x. I was hoping they'd do a 2x by 20x. Then I really would have unloaded a bunch of divine summoning, but they're not doing that. But this is important because it's going to overlap with Falsia. So if you want to do pity manipulation, this is the banner you'll have to do it with. And this is a really good banner. It really is. So that is going to be June the 27th. And then June 28th, that Saturday, a week from this coming Saturday, we're getting a pretty frickin' skippable banner. We're getting Morrigan and Alistair. So you can see over here, if I pop open the game, this is going to be a special ancient summoning, your standard ancient summoning 2x that we're getting now. It's Morrigan as the Lord, Alistair as the non-Lord. Alistair has really fallen off a cliff. It's funny, when Alistair was introduced into the game in December 2023, Christmas Frostfall Jamboree time, he was our first legendary shard summoning event, so like a fragment fusion. And he was kind of like fine, like he dealt a little damage, but he wasn't really needed. Then when APOC came out, when Semra with APOC 1, Apocalypse 1, and Apocalypse 2 arrived, he became super needed because he had decreased damage. A very rare debuff at the time. It was just him and Volca, so he was in really high demand. However, then Init came and they buffed Init, so he had it. Numera has it now. Other ones I'm not thinking of, but it's become a much more powerful. Oh, Phineas with his exclusive, right? Decreased damage is a far less scarce debuff than it used to be. And because of that, Alistair's really fallen off. He can still be really good in Arbiter teams, even some Watcher teams in APOC 2. But like compared to bringing a Numera or a Phineas who are going to deal a lot more damage, especially Numera, and especially if you don't have A1 Alistair, there's no real reason to justify it if you can fit it into a comp. I mean, a non-faction affiliated Numera will still outperform Alistair by a lot, unless you don't have very good gear and you have an A1 Alistair. So this is pretty skippable. Morrigan's obviously very cool, but she's a normal lord. So who wants to pull on Ancients for a normal lord that isn't Torador? In my opinion, no one. Where does that leave us? Well, let's talk about the banners little bit by little bit. Like I said, there'll be much bigger videos and all this stuff. But if we start with the first banner, it really is the Valkyra banner. So we've got two North Throne units. We have Valkyra, she's a fighter, Northerner, and Arbiter. And then we've got Lynx, she's just a Northerner, she's a marksman. Lynx is super, super niche. And even within her niche, she's not meta. So in theory, she's not bad, but frankly, she's fairly useless in the game once you're deep into it, at least as where we stand in the game currently. And certainly, even if you want her, she's not the kind of unit you seek out on a banner. So this is a hard skip, the Lynx half of it. For Valkyra, she's still kind of as good as ever, but she's so much more replaceable now. Valkyra, when she kind of really rose into prominence, probably like start of 2024 until the end of last year, it really was because Arbiter was so meta, right? Praetus was left, right, center, everywhere in the game. And she was like the best AoE magic DPS melee unit in the game. But we've gotten a lot more. Last summer, we got Magda, we got Eris. There's just a lot of other things entering the fray. We've also seen the meta move away from Arbiter a little bit. So it's not like Valkyra isn't awesome, but do you go for this banner when she's paired with Lynx and when many other options exist now? I think the answer is definitely no for the vast majority of people. Not to say you shouldn't be excited if you get Valkyra, but do you target this banner? I think it's going to be no for a lot of people. Like I said, we'll talk about that in just a couple days, probably on Wednesday or Thursday. If we talk about the next banner after that, it's going to be, we can actually stay in the North Throne, it's going to be Falsia, the limited Falsia. I've seen a lot of people call this a hard skip. That's just such a lie. I think every limited you should go for unless you're really strapped for summons, and that is a big unless. It is possible they could run a limited short after this around the anniversary. It's also possible that limited could be Kagiri, so you want to make sure you're in good position. But assuming you are in good position heading into this and you know you can have, let's call it 100 summons left over between your rare summoning crystals and your diamonds, you're going to be in good shape because you're going to get a ton of rewards from her event. It looks to be a very generous event. And you're going to have at least 2 weeks to save up after that to get some more diamonds and some more rare summoning crystals. So as long as you don't completely exhaust yourself, completely overextend yourself, you have some savings left. I mean, even if you don't want to be conservative, if you had 50 to 80 summons left over heading out of that weekend, you will make it with the Kagiri event or the next limited event, whatever it is, because that will be an event. Plus, we're going to get tons of freebies over the anniversary. How do you not go for Falsia? She's not super meta for anything right now, but after the buff, her kit is really good, and she's going to be free and guaranteed. There's an argument if you want to like ball out on Kagiri or the next limited, and you want to try to gamble for more copies, then by all means, you don't have to go for this. But if you don't have Falsia, I really think you should do it. And even if you do, this damage reduction is pretty cool. 30% damage reduction, all of a sudden she becomes super duper relevant against bosses. So imagine if after Elder's buff, which should be coming around the anniversary as well, North Throne becomes meta for boss content, you're going to want a good damage reduction unit, and it's going to be Falsia. So even if you have her, that A1's pretty cool. The A2 is just some more attack. I actually really don't like that it's 5% instead of plus 300. And then the A3 is pretty dang good. This becomes a huge damage boost because you can get her attack speed incredibly high. She's a specialized attack speed unit. But I think the vast majority of people should not be pulling for extra copies, but you should get that first guaranteed base copy. It's a maximum of 200 summons. I think this is an exciting thing. Don't worry, I'll put out a lot of Falsia content. But yeah, she also had her range expanded to 2 tiles. I mean, she just got way better. Like, she's just completely relevant for a lot of stuff now. Is she meta for a lot of things? Not exactly, but could she be? Absolutely. It takes one piece of content, it takes one change to Elder or something in the North Throne, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, did you get Falsia? And that's also not to mention the fact that she was given dual faction membership in the Esoteria Order, which is becoming more and more relevant. So pretty dang cool stuff there with Falsia. After that, we have a very juicy banner with Beelzebub and Beatatrix. This is a banner that I wouldn't use the word bait because it's so powerful, but this is a banner I would be careful with, right? At this point, you're getting really close up to the anniversary. The anniversary could come as early as the week after this. Absolute latest it could come is 2 weeks after this. So if I move myself and pop open my calendar over here, you'll see that's Friday the 27th. I would think the anniversary could kick off as early as July the 3rd, July the 4th, but I can't expect it going longer than July the 11th. I guess the absolute latest it could come is right around like the 16th to the 18th this week, the week of the 14th, but I think it's supremely likely the anniversary will come here. I'll talk about this in a video later today where I'm going to talk a lot about the anniversary and Kagiri and things like that. So look out for that. It'll be a really fun collab with an amazing creator you guys can be surprised by. But because you're really up against it, if you're stacked on summons or you want to gamble a little, this is an awesome banner to do it. These are two top tier units for a lot of stuff right now, especially Beelzebub with endgame content and Beatrix being like the hardest progression carry in the game potentially for many places. But what I would say is I would say most players should just use this as a pity manipulation, assuming it lines up, because why not? You could get a free legendary out of this and imagine it's one of these two. That'd be really, really good. For this ancient banner, that will come on the Saturday. We've got Morrigan and we have got Alistair. I talked about it a bit already. How do you justify it? You don't. You don't. There is no way. There's no way they won't release something huge for the anniversary with Ancients. They went all in on ancient-themed banners for the last anniversary. Even if they take their foot off the gas 60 to 80%, there's going to at least be like an Ingrid banner. And I think you could anticipate there's going to be an Ingrid banner, potentially a new Lord, potentially a new Unnameable, maybe a Paradis banner, maybe a Valderon banner. There's so many things they could do. I would expect 2 big ancient banners in the 4 weeks sandwiching the anniversary. This is such an easy ancient summoning to skip. I'll probably make a video about it because why not? And it probably will be a meme because how could you summon on that? I think you're fully informed now. The final thought I want to leave you guys with, and hopefully I think I'll send a timestamp of this to Moonton. Imagine if they did this every time. Yes, it's not what we want, like right before the first of every month, we find out the banners for the next month. But even 2 weeks at a time, so we don't have to find out week by week, 4 days before each banner. It really empowers the player with in a way that I don't think would hurt Moonton's bottom line. So Moonton, I'm talking directly to you now. If you could get into this habit of just every 2 weeks, like clockwork, letting us know the next 2 weeks of banners, I think maybe that's a really happy middle ground. Because I think revealing this kind of stuff with a little bit of runway is really, really good for the players. It's also going to be good for content. Selfishly, we have a lot of time to prepare. Now I can start working on Falsia stuff this week to release over the weekend into next week. I just think it's a really, really good thing. I think it's just much healthier for the community, and I think it's a happy middle ground, as I said. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know any thoughts you have about this video and really the banners we have coming. Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Are you going to be saving? Are you stocking up, baby? Let me know below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.